Hi, I'm Promise Israel, and today we're going to be talking about losing a brother. Let's get started.
Took me a minute for me to get to know you, but I'm here, and now I'm ready. I neglected the fact that I didn't know you now, but I'm ready.
Today is a pretty sad video for me. I'm grieving. I want to make sure my platform stays educational, so through this grieving process, I hope that this video touches a family or set of siblings, or I hope it touches someone and it helps them reflect on what they might be taking for granted. And when I think of my brother, or when I thought of him, I always reminisce on how we used to dream together. Have you ever just had that sibling that y'all are dreaming about getting out of this situation together? That was me and my brother. We was just so tight. We was tight for so long. And I guess that's why I can't help it but just be sad about the place we've come to. And I think that the insight I've gained on this journey with my brother, it could be helpful to just families that are probably in a similar situation. So me and my brother, we was tight when we was young. We still young. I thought we was still tight up until when he started having kids. And that's the thing. Sometimes stuff could just be so good, and then something happened in your life. It could be either person, and it just changes something about you. And I remember when I first found out my brother was about to have a kid, I was disappointed, not because he was about to have a kid, but more so of just how the situation was handled. I remember us being on one accord as children, hating seeing my mom not valued as much as she should have been valued. There's a lot of parents out there. Y'all was in some messed up relationships, and your kids had to watch it. We're not blaming you. We're just saying stuff like that traumatizes a kid. So we have a good mom. That's the thing. The type of mom that she's so simple. She's so easy to love. And I think that's what people take for granted. And we saw guys take my mama for granted. And it pissed us off. It hurt us more than anything to see such a good woman. Dang, y'all playing in my mama's face. That's how we looked at it. I don't know how my mama really felt. As children, who knows if you seeing it the way it's being put out. But a lot of times kids really be spot on. And me and my brother, we was just spot on about stuff. We was ambitious. We supported one another. I took up for him. He took up for me. We was that. My brother didn't cuss around me. He didn't let people curse around me. I felt valued through my brother because he held me to a higher standard. I don't know if y'all got a brother like that, but my brother held me to a higher standard. I didn't talk to none of his friends in no romantic way, although they was trying to hop down, of course. But no, you my brother friend. I always respected my brother. My brother always respected me. We was just on one accord. We supported one another in our athletics. He come to my games, I go to his. We room for each other. And I never thought I would see the day that I no longer recognize my brother. And look, he'll probably say he don't recognize me, because it comes a point where it's a great possibility that you and your siblings might just go in different directions. Don't nobody tell you about this part. You think the same brother, the same sister you grew up protecting and loving and giving to unconditionally and defending, and you think that that person is going to be that person. You think that that standard or that relationship is always going to be that, because they never tell you about this part. And this part is the part where you got to accept that the season up. Those days are gone. That person is dead. And I want you to hear me when I say that, because, and some people probably got offended when I said that, and I'm not saying it in a cocky way. You know how the trend was going on a couple of years ago where people say, oh, he dead to me, she dead to me. No, forget all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my brother is dead. A lot of y'all have a sibling that's dead. And the hardest part about accepting that he's dead is knowing that he alive. Like my brother, he got breath in his body, but spiritually, he's gone. And that's the thing. Some of y'all are grieving. Some of y'all are waiting to grieve a death that has already happened. I'm grieving my brother that is alive right now today because spiritually he is gone. Do I want to say that? No. Do I want to feel that? No. Do I want to see that? No. But it is what it is. And it's so sad because you don't really want relationships like this to die because y'all have a bond. I remember, just to be vulnerable with y'all, we grew up in the hood. So it just wasn't much. We knew that as kids, it wasn't much. That's why we looked out for each other. I would save my lunch money because my brother wasn't good with money. And whenever he was out of money, I always had money for him. I've always given my brother money. I've always bought him gifts. I've always been there for him. Never expecting anything in return. Why? Because my brother ain't never had no money. I'm the oldest. I'm not saying that in a weird way. I'm just saying, if you played your cards right as the oldest, you probably on your SHIT. You got a good head on your shoulders. You had to be responsible because you're the oldest, so your skills are probably a little bit sharper than your siblings. But I used my skills to bless my siblings. It has not been anything that they have not been able to call on me for. And I've been there. And so when I think of my brother, I'm like, dang, bro, we was in the trenches together. We was in our great grandmama apartment while mama was at work late night catching roaches. I wanted to mask that detail, but that's how close we was. We in there catching roaches. We have pet roaches and we hate them so bad that we are pulling the legs off of them. Bro, do you remember that? We hated those roaches. We catching them like we on a mission to solve the roach problem. Do you remember that, bro? Imagine going from that closeness to, dang, my brother told me he was gonna slap the fuck out of me today. That's how he looked at me. He looked at me with rage in his eyes and told me, I'll slap the fuck out of you. And was close enough for me to feel his breath. So that means he was up over me in a way that I'm like, who is this? See, today is the day where I had to just accept I don't know who that is no more. I had been seeing the signs, but I'm steadily hanging on to that person I used to dream with. Me and my brother used to share shoes. We used to we trying to keep up with the trend, but my mama can't afford that stuff. My mama a single mama of 4, school teacher. She ain't making no money. She making it happen though, but we sharing shoes. We might get the J's, we go share the J's because we go to different schools. So one day you wear the J's and next day I wear the J's. One of our feet too small for it. So we doing that. We getting to fight. One year we got to fighting in the hood every day that summer. With Bay Love and Giz. I don't know if they'll ever see this video, but Bay Love and Giz. We sitting up at night drawing up a plan on how we finna win the next fight because you on the battlefield every day in the hood. We having to fight these folks every single day. And we having to fight them because your dad playing in my mama face, going with Bay Love mama. The kids, see, a lot of kids are bad. Bay Love them. I ain't trying to talk about y'all, but damn, y'all was bad. Anyways, kids and grown folks stuff. We fighting a grown folks battle. Dang. Sometimes that's just how kids see stuff. So they fighting battles. We fighting on the behalf of just the principle of the situation and don't nobody even know why we getting to fighting every day. Kid stuff. But me and my brother was in that. We playing 5-on-5 in the hood. They had just put a new basketball court in the hood. I'm picking my brother. We picked each other. It wasn't, no, I want him. So now, dang, we grown. I don't even recognize you no more, bro. And here's the thing, though. When you grow up without a daddy, we really grew up without fathers. I had a goddad who stood in the gap, but just to be frank, it wasn't an emotional support system from him. And that was my goddad. My brother daddy was in and out of jail. So my mama raising us on her own, literally. We're being raised by, I'm saying, my mama and just the village around. And so I know how not having my biological father affected me. I know how not having a healthy man around covering me affected me. And I'm watching how it affected my brother. I can't say I know it because I'm not in his shoes, but like I'm watching you just have anger in your heart towards women. But that's strange. The grieving process is a very hard situation because you want so badly to hang on to that moment in back in time that felt like going to accomplish whatever it is y'all was going to accomplish. And even right now, I'm constantly feeling unappreciated by my brother. And it's sad to say I grew to just accept that as normalcy when in fact it wasn't once like that. It wasn't, I didn't always feel like my brother was just trying to get over on me or use me. I didn't always feel like my brother was mean and angry and manipulative. I didn't always feel that way. So somewhere along the line, something changed. And it's so hard to accept the situation because I'm still the same promise that's telling you the absolute truth I always have. It's just that you're in a season, you don't want to hear nobody else's truth. You don't want to hear how people are observing you. You already kind of got your mind made up about you. And that's the worst mistake people can make. How things are flowing around you says a lot about you. And so when I'm thinking about, dang, my brother got kids, I don't have no kids. So really, I'm just an auntie and I don't have to be active if I don't want to. I had nothing to do with your children being created. And I'm not saying it in a boastful way. I'm saying it in a way you have a sister that's dependable. You have a sister that's reliable. You have a sister that's rooting for you to be a good father. Yet, how do you get to a point of calling this sister a bitch, a hoe? How am I any of that? At what point is that on my resume? How do you know me as a bitch and a hoe? What is that? It was a time where people did not curse around me if my brother was around. They ain't curse around me anyway. But I'm saying his friends or whatever, dang, bro, your standard is gotten so low. This is a person where I once saw him honor our mother and understand her struggle, now to total dishonor, total disrespect. When I think about the story of Abraham and how he had to leave his kindred, that's not just like his family, it's also the way of thinking, how the family thought. You got to come from out of that mindset. And when I realized my brother had turned away from God, I was so afraid for him because, dang, our mama gave us God. She taught us and she put us in places to teach us, and she was just nice to us. We was one of the only kids in the hood that actually had a nice mama. We were actually nice kids. And I remember always seeing other older siblings, they used to be mean to their sibling. And I just always prided myself on being nice. I always prided myself on supporting my brother. So how does stuff get to this point? Well, it comes a point in everybody's life where they got to choose a direction to go. Left or right, up or down. You got to choose. And it just seems like me and my brother went in two different directions. Not to say my direction was better and his was worse. Not to say that. But judging by the fruits of the situation, somewhere along the way, someone forgot where they were going. Someone forgot what they was dreaming about. He could say it's me. I could say it's him. But I'm going to just say someone. Because if you ain't working together, that means you're working apart. And I don't know if this can be the solution to the sibling rivalry that's going on in the world, because maybe it's just that your sibling is just your sibling. But do we really know how deep that goes? See, me and my brother, we were tight because we did life together. He understood my pain. I understood his pain, because when you siblings, you right there. We just, I think, 2 years apart. So when you right there with your sibling, you can see how certain stuff affected them. There was times when my brother knew I was hurting, or he knew I was sad. He would comfort me. He would say something to me. He would speak into me, and vice versa. It's certain stuff that your parents miss because they're not thinking on your level. But you always got that sibling that just seem to be right there with you, and they feel where you coming from. And I had that with him. So it's hard for me to let go of that, because if we had that, just that character amongst the two of us, of equally trusting one another, equally respecting one another, and it not being conditional, and it not being founded on lack of accountability, it was never a time where I couldn't say something to my brother and he took it and he was like, okay, yeah, he listened. But dang, somewhere along the way, started with one lie. It's then two, then three, then dang, like I said, I don't even know you. And I feel sorry for you because you caught in a loop and you got kids, bro. You really can't afford to be caught in no loop. And when I think about how you've done me lately, since you became a father, almost as if I'm against you. How? All I ever wanted was a good father. So that's all I ever wanted you to be. Because you know what having an absent father, an unhealthy father, is it an addicted father? You know what that feel like. A disloyal father, a dishonest father, you know what that feel like. So why would I even think you would go in that direction when you directly was impacted by that? And so it blows my mind to know that somewhere along the way, our all day conversations turned into you just asking for stuff. It ain't no more us talking, because you're hanging with people that they're not even on your frequency, bro. Here's the thing. I have a brother that he's so smart, y'all. It's ridiculous. And he don't even know part of the reason I'm smart is because when he scored what he scored for his IQ test, I can't remember, but everybody was boasting about it. And I realized, man, I didn't score that high. So I was not as smart as him. I didn't get stuff and grab stuff as quick as him. He was real smart. But knowing that he was smarter than me made me work so hard on being smart. He's the reason I'm smart. Because I'm just that competitive that I was competing with the fact that he was smarter than me so that I could just be a better me. Never been against you, bro. Why be against somebody? Why be against somebody that's like your person? I feel like my brother was my person at one point. Oh, how things change. And so just to sum up the video, if you're an older sibling and you in a season where your sibling is lost, you need to understand that it talks about time in Ecclesiastes. And that's the scriptures I've been meditating on since this last incident happened between my brother and I. And the sad part about that incident is, dang, my brother clutched his gun on me. I got your kids in the car. You mad at me because your baby mama asked me to keep the kids and it's your weekend and you told her that she needed to find childcare on your weekend and she found childcare, she asked me. And all I'm trying to figure out is, are you going to get the kids before they go back? Because that's what you said you wanted to do. But you blocked me. You blocked her. So I have your kids and you coming at me like I'm on her team. I don't know her. I know you. And I know you're not your best self right now. So I'm standing in the gap for you. I got your kids in the car, bro. That's love. That's interceding. That's standing in the gap, because I don't have to do that. I'm just their aunt and I don't have children. So when I have somebody else's kids, that mean I'm not making no money. That mean I'm taking time out of whatever I'm doing. I don't have no kids for them to play with. That mean my house is a mess when they leave. That mean I'm having to spend and do a lot of extra stuff because I'm standing in the gap for you. Yes, she asked me to watch the kids, but I said yes because it's your weekend. And I'm just about principle, man. And I've always done that for you. You short on something, I got you. You call me, you need something, I got you. But you tell me, you threaten me, you talk to me like that, you treat me like that. And you so dead spiritually that you don't realize I got your kids in the car. Don't nobody just do that. So to be turned over to that state of reprobation, I'm thinking that's a word, it's saddening and it's hurtful because this is a person that I thought I was going to touch the mountaintop with. And now I realize we just on two different frequencies. My brother's supposed to be somewhere. He's so smart, y'all. It's ridiculous. My brother's supposed to be somewhere in space or something. You in the hood. You trapping. You treating women bad. You being mean to women. You creating broken homes. Why? You dishonoring your mama. Why? When you know you better than that. Why when you know you a leader and you should be leading people, not following? Why you upset? Why you upset at everybody but yourself? You burning bridges. You making it so difficult to love you, which is making it so difficult to now love your children. Hey, sometimes you could be sabotaging something because you're still so caught up in your selfish ways. And to my family, I feel like all I have is my voice at this point. And I know y'all don't like what I have to say, and clearly y'all do watch my stuff, because every time one of y'all get mad at me, y'all always want to say that I'm saying stupid shit on the internet. Exactly like that. That's what y'all like to say. But this ain't stupid to me. It's actually sad to me to know that I come from a bloodline full of potential, rooted in potential. And all of that potential goes right in the dirt every time one of us pass away, because ain't nobody did nothing. And it's sad to me to see generation after generation of children fall into the same cycles. It's sad to me to know that ain't nobody got no daddy. Ain't nobody daddy in their life consistently. It's brokenness. Know that generation, decade, we still living the same way. That's insanity. Ain't nobody going to school. Ain't nobody going to the army. But yet, I'm saying stupid shit. All I got is my voice. And I realized when I started using my voice, I started losing my family. And at this point, I gotta just accept that it's just time. Praise God.